All right, start with a couple comments from Coach Baldwin.
It's good to be back out Tuesday with a game week. Obviously, bye was, it was a big week for us, when you'd gone 10 straight. So we got a lot out of it. I thought the guys handled the bye week the proper way to put themselves in a great spot. And now, just kind of getting back and knocking off some of the rust, but getting ready, obviously, for, a tremendous opponent in Stanford. We know the challenge that's going to be, and got to work through to have a great week, put ourselves in a position.
I know it's early in the week, but do you sense a little bounce in the step after a bye week?
Yeah, you can sense it a little bit. I mean, it's just natural. I mean, just your body and just, how it's going to feel, coming off that. But you also sense that you have to get back in a rhythm again, too, So it's a combination of there's positives and I'm not saying there's negatives, but there's things that come with a bye week, both really good and some things you just got to get back in that rhythm. So, but yeah, you definitely sense it, but it won't mean anything unless we take advantage of it the rest of the week and, make it something that's an advantage for us.
You guys have been so good at kind of going week by week and focusing. How do you handle this week when it is rivalry week? It's a chance to go to a bowl game. There's so much kind of on the line.
Well, you try not to get caught up with that because I know it sounds cliche and I know the fans, but it's true. I mean, yes, everyone knows what week it is, and I've been involved in different rivalries, and no matter where your rivalry is, it's important in that area, and I get it, and I know how important it is, and I know how much it means to the community and just Cal alumni, and just it's a big deal. But to our guys, if you start thinking in that way, if you start treating it that way, then in a lot of ways, I don't think it puts you the putting yourself in the best spot to have a chance to earn a win is based on just your preparation and your week and how you approach it, not by all of a sudden trying to do something different because of the week it is. That usually leads to not the results you want, to be quite honest with you. So you have to, again, stay the process, stay with what you're doing, and just understand the thing that's tough isn't the rivalry. The fact that it's a rivalry or people are talking about, the thing that's tough is the opponent. The opponent is a very good opponent. We know what it's going to take, to try and play well, against Stanford and earn a victory, and it takes everything, and it takes a great week of practice.
What are you seeing at tape with 66 in the middle? It's not often you have a D tackle lead the team in tackles with that many.
He's impressive. He is. I mean, he's impressive with just how he plays the game. He's impressive. He's got he's just got a number of different ways too to disrupt you, whether it's with power, whether it's with speed, quickness, swim move, and he just constantly, and then the thing also is impressive to me about him is just how well he's, he seems to be in very good condition too, because he still brings a lot as he gets into the third and fourth quarter. So whenever I see, bigger guys playing D-line, and in his case, playing the nose like he is, it's impressive to see how well he can play late in the game too. So I just, it takes a lot of work, in terms of that when you're going up against a player of his caliber. But we just got to stay to our fundamentals, stay to what we do, and just make sure that you got to be really fundamentally sound, gritty, and tough to win those type of one-on-ones against a player like him.
How much does a guy who's as that well conditioned? Because normally you think in a run game you wear him down, third and fourth quarter you can start hitting some big ones. How much does the fact that he's going to be at 100% all the way through, how much does that change play calling?
I don't know if it changes play calling. I mean, you got to get a feel in the game, but it definitely and you look at it, just where you are in the game, what the score, what's been working, what hasn't, and then you get a feel that way. But obviously, if a team and defense, not just one player, but if a defense is doing a good job and you haven't worn them down, then you got to adjust what you're doing, late in the game as well. So it's just, watching him on film, that's what impresses me, more than anything. He's making a lot of those same plays and showing some of that same energy late in ball games. So you just have a lot of respect for that sort of mental toughness, what he carries.
How much does their size on defense compare to some of the other teams you faced in the Pac-12 schedule here?
Yeah, they're bigger, they're stouter than some of the teams we face. They've been that way for a long time. I mean, they built their model that way. They do an incredible job with that, incredibly well coached, and they do a good job in terms of what they do in the off season and their strength and just the mold of who they are. So it's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's we face big opponents as well. We face big opponents all year, and that's not taking anything away, but we have to look at it like, we face guys that have great size, that have great strength, and we just know it's just going to take incredible effort out of us, incredible technique, and doing all the little things.
What stands out about their secondary?
Physical. you know, and that's kind of the nature of their team in general. Just physical. They've got some good length. They're not afraid at all to stick their nose in. Sometimes you feel like, yeah, if we can get loose and get into the third level, you know, this player, you know, sometimes this player maybe doesn't want to tackle as much. He'd rather cover. He'd rather do that. These guys are football players, you know, all the way through. So that's one thing that we know. We have to bring our lunch pail in that way, because we know it's going to be a physical battle anywhere on that field, not just up front or at the second level, but also at that third level with the secondary.
Were you able to sort of throttle Laird back enough to get him a little bit of rest?
You can't throttle him back. He just wants to go. He'd be out here going even if we weren't out here and he's by himself. So he's just built that way, and he works so well in the off season. He's got a lot in the tank, you know, at any time. So, you know, but no question, Coach Wilcox had a great plan for the bye week. I think it's, you know, it's obviously not obvious, but what I've seen, it's put us in a great situation where we are Tuesday coming off a bye week, and you know, in Pat's case, no different. He's in a great spot right now.
He mentioned that you want the guys to want the ball. He said a couple times on Saturday, keep giving it to me.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he picked that up?
Yeah. Well, I just told him, I thought we came off the Colorado game, and you know, there was just, I wanted us to carry just more juice during the game, even if and not in an arrogant way or this or that, but I want you to come off the field, you know, basically I'm not tired, or we need to keep pounding it, coach, or I can beat this guy, and Matt, you know, whatever it might be, just that mindset, just that attitude. So knowing Pat, yeah, there was times where he carried the ball 4 or 5 times in a row, subbed him out, and he came off yelling, I'm not tired, you know, and that's a mental approach. He's always had that, but I wanted those guys to feel that, to feel like, you know what, we need to be the ones pushing on them. We need to get a defense on their heels, and that's hard to do against great opponents in the Pac-12, and you know, and so it's going to be a tremendous challenge this week. We know that, but you have to have that mindset to really have a chance to put a defense on their heels.
Having a young guy like Safel kind of come in and do what he's done for free for the last few weeks, how big has that been in terms of being able to maintain some sort of rhythm?
It's been big. I mean, he's been a big piece of that, you know, in terms of the O-line and their, you know, and the fact that it says a lot about his mental toughness too, you know, just that he's able to come in as a freshman and, you know, and not just a freshman, but a freshman who didn't play for a lot of the beginning part of the season. Obviously, a lot of fall camp, and then, you know, early on the first 3 games. So it's just, I've said that all year. I'm just impressed with both his football intelligence and his mental approach to take that on. You know, because we needed it. We need all hands on deck up front there. We know that. We don't necessarily have a ton of depth, so we needed him, and he's been very important in what we're doing offensively.
Pat mentioned Ross pulling at the right time a lot of times on Saturday. Are you seeing improvement even this late in the year in Ross's decision making and how some of that stuff goes in the RPO game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Ross has done a really good job with the RPO game. I mean, he really sees it well, and he has just a good knack, and it's almost like kind of a feel. I talk about sometimes you can pinpoint one guy that you're supposed to read, but you also got to kind of feel the flow and what the defense is doing, and it's kind of like playing point guard. You know, an RPO quarterback is kind of like playing point guard and just feeling it, feel where there's space, feeling when to give it, feeling when to go to the rack, however you want to word it, and he's done a good job of improving in that area. So yeah, it's been fun to be able to open certain things up and do certain things that are strengths for Ross.
I know you mentioned during the Joe Roth week that you had studied a little bit of that history and were learning some of the things around there. Is there anything you do for big game week? I know you got enough on your plate, but is there any way to look at it?
I try not. I respect, absolutely. Sure. I respect the week. I respect the alum. You know, I respect everything that's about this week, because I know I'm just a newbie in this whole thing. So that's what I am, where there's people who have serious tradition. I know how much it means because they bleed it. I respect that. I mean, to have that type of passion. But I think if I do too much to get caught up in that, I'm taking away from what's really important. And they'd probably be the first to tell you, you just concentrate on trying to, you know, work that ball down the end zone, and we'll worry about that. So it's fun to look into some of that. It's fun to learn, you know, about the history of a place, but honestly this week it's been more geared towards, you know, Stanford and just, you know, everything we have to do to try and put ourselves in the best chance to earn a victory.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.